Hello everyone, I will deliver the presentation about expert evaluation result of Android-based food safety virtual laboratory. This virtual laboratory developed because the pandemic in 2020 that give us the obligation to interact using online learning. In food safety, especially in vocational study, we have to ensure that students have the practical skill so that they can apply the food safety procedures in their working place. So this mobile application was being developed to as one of the tools to support online learning in food safety, especially during pandemic. The objective of this research is to evaluate the food safety Android-based virtual laboratory that are already being developed in Polimedia. Virtual laboratory, already known as a website or software for interactive learning based on simulation of real phenomena. It has a lot of benefits such as it's fun, interesting, have economic values, and flexible. While food safety described as subjects that learn procedures to ensure that the food that are consumed by the consumer were safe. And there are a lot of relative work considering the Android-based virtual laboratory. Those are application of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics virtual laboratory, virtual laboratory to study and practice entrepreneurship in Gajah Mada University, and linguist-based virtual laboratory in SMK Muhammadiyah Bogor. The research was being conducted using focus group discussion, where the subjects that being discussed are the material, the visual communication, the assay design, and the effectivity. All of the subject was being scored using 5-level Likert chart, and based on the score, the conclusion and suggestion was being given. This is the example of the gameplay in virtual laboratory of food safety. We can choose the subject in the main menu. Post-test and pretest was being given as a self-assessment tools for the students and for the users. Instruction was being given before the stage was being started. Warning was being given if the user or the student not following the procedure that already being given in the first place. After the user or student completing one stage, they can continue to the next stage. If they are unable to finish that stage, then they have to study properly in each stage so they can fulfill the knowledge that require to finish the stage. In next stage, the instruction was being given in checklist, and the user have to follow every step as described in checklist. The interaction that being given in this application was click and drag. And each time after they finish, the instruction was that being given, the checklist change the color from white to uh, dark gray. And those are the example of the game style in virtual laboratory. The virtual laboratory developed using futuristic concept, simple game-based learning, and developed using Unity 3D Engine and Adobe Illustrator. Experts give score as follow. For material content, the score was 4.5 out of 5, visual communication 5 out of 5, asset design 4 out of 5, effectivity 5 out of 5. Overall score for the food safety Android-based virtual laboratory was 4.625 out of 5. We can conclude that the virtual food safety laboratory has been able to provide information in accordance with the learning achievement, and the procedure in the application already meets the criteria and basic competencies that students must achieve on this topic. The visual communication already good, and it can be seen how they deliver the material into several stages. Each stage is related to the previous stage, so the student have to complete its stage perfectly before entering the next stage. And the material also can be digested very well by the student or user. But some evaluation was being given, especially from the expert of design. They suggest that we should use more cool color groups since it represents the impression of being hygienic, clean, futuristic, minimalist, and modern, as it can represent the learning material in food safety. This is some documentation during the focus group discussion. And the conclusion is the virtual laboratory that already being developed in Polimedia give result more than satisfactory. It was very effective to increase the knowledge of food safety for the users. However, it still needed improvement, especially in terms of color and background. But content-wise, the laboratory already covered the subject needed. The interaction was simple and simplified the learning process so the subject can be understood easily. This is the reference that being used. And thank you very much for your attention.